So today I thought I would do a little bit of a fun video where I talk and show you guys the books that I really want to reread them because there were more books out in the series and I want to continue on with it, or because they were so good. So let's get started. So first up, we have a series that everybody knows about and it means a lot to me if you know me, and that is the Twilight series. And I want to reread this because I have these new covers that I showed you guys in my last reading vlog, and I really want to reread that. Also, I have never read this series in English. I've only read it in Swedish because when they came out, I was pretty young and that was before I started reading in English. So I'm really excited to read it in English. It's the original language, so I'm very excited about it, and I would probably do it this fall. I usually do my reread of Twilight in the fall because that's when the vibe is there for me. But I love these new covers. I showed you guys all of them in my last reading vlog if you want to check them out, but this is the first book and it means a lot to me. It's been with me for so long and it just means the world to me, and I can't wait to reread it. The next one is also a series and also about vampires, and this is one of the series that got me into reading, and it also has a very special place in my heart, and that is the Vampire Academy series. This is the Swedish covers. I've only read the series in Swedish and I haven't found the hardcover English books anywhere. I would really want to read that one, but I've never found it. So I'm just gonna stick with my Swedish copies. I love them. They're very colorful, and this is a series that means so much to me. And if you have only seen the movie and hated it like me, please still give the books a shot because the books are so much better. And the movie was crap and I was so disappointed in it. But it's a world of vampires and a badass woman lead and a boarding school, and so much more is happening in the books. I mean, there's so many books, and that movie was crap. So I would definitely recommend this series. I can't recommend it enough because it means so much to me and it's so good. We get to follow so many adventures and so many things that you don't get to follow in the movie. So please give it a shot. I can't wait to reread these books for like the millionth time. I love this series so much. The next I'm gonna show you is also a series and it also means a lot to me, and this one and then Vampire Academy is the series that got me into reading, and that is Beautiful Dead by Eden McGuire. And I have never ever heard anyone talk about these books. I'm not sure why, because I love them. I might not have loved them if I would have read them the first time now, but back then I was pretty young when I first read this and I fell in love with them. And yeah, there is 4 books. You follow a small town and a girl named Darina who lost her boyfriend in a murder. He was murdered, and there's been a lot of murders or accidents in this small town on this high school where kids have died, and she discovers, like, she sees her boyfriend and thinks she's going crazy, but he's actually a part of Beautiful Dead, which is kind of a limbo between the living and the dead, and they have 1 year in this limbo and they have to find out who murdered them. They have to solve that in order to like get peace. So Darina gets 1 year with her dead boyfriend before he disappears forever, and they need to solve the crime, or like who did it and what actually happened. And it's really good. So here we follow Jonas, which is a boy who died in a motorcycle accident. In the second book we follow Arizona, who drowned. In the third book we follow Summer, who got shot in a shopping mall. And in the fourth book we follow Darina's boyfriend Phoenix, who was stabbed by a knife. So Darina helps these 4 kids solve the crime and what actually happened and who did it in order for them to get peace. And it's really good. I love it, and every time I read this series I get such a clear picture in my head, the setting, the people, and everything, and I can't wait to reread these. I love them so much. And also this is the Swedish covers and copies because I was very young when I read these, and I just love this series and I can't talk about it enough. I love it so much. The next book I really want to, but also really need to reread is A Curse of Dark and Lonely by Bridget Kemmer, because like I remember loving it. I really liked it, and then the second book came out, A Heart So Fierce and Lonely, and I never ended up reading it. I think I was in a reading slump when I got that and I never got around to it, and now I can't really remember anything that happened. So I really need to reread this to freshen up my memory so I can finally start this one, because there is a third book out and I'm very behind. But I did really remember enjoying the first book. A little bit slow, I think I thought it was, but I did enjoy it. I remember that, and at least want to give it a new shot and finally get to this one. Another book that I really want to and need to, again, really need to reread is The Beautiful by Renee Attier, and this is the Beautiful Fairvalute edition. As you know, with all of these books that I talked about, I love vampires, and I really love this. I remember it, but I don't remember in detail what happened. So I really need to finish this, or like reread it and remember, in order to finally get to The Damned, which also is the Beautiful Fairvalute copy, and I've had this for a while. And I still haven't read it, and everyone else has read it, and I feel late to the party, but I really want to, because I love the first one. So I really need to finally like reread The Beautiful and then get to this one, because it's so beautiful and I love the vibe. New Orleans, vampires, so definitely probably in the fall, because dark books like this I really want to read in the fall, but we'll see. I desperately need to get to them, that's for sure. The next book that I really want to reread is Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I've only read this one time. I feel like everyone has read this so many times and loved it. I did really enjoy it when I read it, and it's been a while now and I really want to reread it because the memory fades, and I can't believe I've only read it one time. It's so freaking good, and I definitely need to pick it up as soon as I can, basically, because I did really remember enjoying it, and it's such a hyped up book too. But yeah, also Taylor Jenkins Reid has a lot more books that I haven't read. This is the only book that I've read by this author. I haven't read The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, which I really need to read too, and Malibu Rising, I believe a new book is called. Definitely need to get to that, because I loved this book so much and I need to reread it now. The next is a series that I really love, but I feel like a lot of people didn't like, but I do. Also, I love the movie. There's only one movie, but there's 4 books. But I really love the movie. I love the vibe, I love the actors, I love the setting, I love the accents. I really like the vibe of the movie, which is why I wanted to pick up the series and read the entire thing. And that is Beautiful Creatures by Cami Garcia and Margaret Stahl. And let me tell you, before I found these beautiful hardcovers, I was so devastated. I couldn't find the hardbacks anywhere, and I refused to get the paperbacks because I love these so much. And finally, I found them on eBay. And I was so happy when they arrived. I read them immediately, and I love this series so much. It means a lot to me. I think it's also have some sort of sentimental value because the movie came out when I was pretty young and I watched it, and I think it has that value to me. But these covers, I love the feeling of it, and I love the, everything. The colors on this has purple, the second book has blue, the third yellow, and the fourth green. And I love them so much. But this is basically about Ethan, who is a boy in a small town, Gatlin, and it's a very small town. Everyone knows everyone, you know, and this new girl's come, and she has magical abilities, I guess you can say, and it's a really good story. I really enjoy it. I know a lot of people don't, but I do. I really enjoy it, and yeah, I definitely need to reread this soon. The next book I really want to reread is Wicked Fox by Kat Cho. I remember reading this and not loving it, but I really want to give it a new shot because there's a second book out, Vicious Spirits, and I really want to pick that up if I reread this and enjoy it. I know I enjoyed it, but I didn't love it. I don't know why, I can't remember. I don't really remember a whole lot, but I definitely want to reread this, and if I like it, I want to read Vicious Spirits. Because I do really like the concept, and I've heard a lot of people talk about it and really enjoy the series, and I just want to give it a new shot. I love the cover, I love the idea of it, I love the world and everything, and I do want to give it another shot. And yes, I definitely need to reread this as soon as possible. Another book I really need to read so I can finally buy and get to the second book is A Tale of Magic by Chris Koffler, and look at this beautiful copy. I honestly bought it because of the cover and also the author, Chris Koffler. I really love this book, but I can't remember a whole lot about it. I remember it was magical and cute and fun and so good. And he has the second book out, which also the cover is beautiful. It's like purple and stuff, and I've been having it on my wish list forever, and I haven't bought it because I need to reread this so I can refresh it in my memory because I don't really remember what happened. This book and The School of Good and Evil, I read those about the same time, and my head can't really separate those two, so I can't remember if this or that one, like I keep mixing them up because both are about a school and magic, and I can't really separate them, so I need to reread this and get my mind straight to what it's about and pick up the second book because it's such a beautiful series and I'm very excited about it. The last book on my list that I really want to reread is What I Lost by Alexandra Ballard. So I remember reading this in 2019, I believe, and there was a lot of tabs. You can see that I've taken them all away because that's before I bought my little cute mini tabs, and I had like put super long, it looked awful, so I had to take them away. But I had so many tabs, and this is about a girl who struggles with anorexia, and she ends up in a treatment center for girls, and you get to follow her there. And I just really remember liking it and thinking it was so interesting. And as I said, I had so many tabs. You should have seen this book. It was so messy. And I really want to reread it and tab it and even write it in it because I could really understand some things and really relate to some things, but I can't remember what because it's been 3 years or something since I've read this book. But I remember just really liking it and thinking it was a good way of describing an eating disorder. If you know me, I really like to read books about eating disorders. I've read a lot about them, and this was one of my this was one of my first books that I read about eating disorders, and I really enjoyed it. So I definitely need to reread this and tab it so I can talk about it in a vlog or a book talk or whatever because I loved this. I remember it. Hopefully I will love it as much as I remember, but yeah, I definitely need to reread this soon. That was all of the books on my list that I really want to or need to reread. And let me know if you have read any of these books or if you have any series or book that you really want to or need to get to rereading it. But thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!